Kyle, you were totally wrong.
What?
I was not offended.
Okay, good.
He thought you would be offended?
Yes, he did.
We think it's a chick flick. What do you think?
No, I just love the shot in the car.
Yeah.
So there's like, and he's got the camera in the front seat. There are two shots there. There's one in the front, and then
Yeah, that's a suction cup on the side of the on the
back
side of the
seat,
car.
is he just over the back?
One of our students, Alex Lim, lent us his a little $110 car rig where it's like these big industrial-sized suction cups that basically just connects to a plate that mounts the camera
It was
on
for the
a little
front.
pin.
Yeah, Frankie was holding it,
Frankie
kind
was
of.
I was like, so which camera are we going to use for the car? And they both were, Dan was like, well, not mine.
I really liked also, you know, even though it's like done 100 times, but I liked the story within the story.
Oh, the meta
And then
thing,
and then it kept going back. It was like, you know, I love that you ended with the kids on the sofa.
A lot of fag talk. Anybody offended by the fag talk?
But it is going to be interesting to see a room full of absolute strangers.
Well, like how keyed into the word itself are people versus its
I
content.
think you handled it well. You know, you got to bring up this idea of like, not every sex offender had sex with a 12-year-old child.
Right. There's lots of shades of gray that
But
we
you
never
didn't
consider.
remotely get the least bit political. Which and you managed to do that with a couple of other things.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you intended to do it. It might have been like a
Totally,
smart-
I did.
Very smart.
It's more about.
It is a very smart way to.
One of the big objectives was I want to portray things that I've never seen in movies before. Especially my problem with the portrayal of gay people in movies is that I always find that they're portrayed either as kind of a really secondary character or almost comic relief, like Sarah Jessica Parker's best friend. He's just so fun loving and he pops into a scene and makes us laugh, but we have the real problems or whatever. Or they just have their own movie, gay cinema. You know, they're a genre.
I thought that Neil overlapped. He was sort of the bridge,
Yes,
you know, between.
because he's so neutral to begin with.
Yeah.
Do you know these people? Are they real?
That's a
good question.
no. It is a good question, and I laugh not because how you said it, just because I know a lot of the inside info into that. It's an interesting question. Yeah, do you mean the characters, the actors?
Like, what do you like? Do you mean
Like, are they your friends from like?
these actors?
No, not the actors. The characters.
The characters, yes, they're like my best friends. Yeah.
Oh.
But, Keith, who plays Neil, is like so many of the things that happen in the movie have happened to us in real life.
And it's really him. He is.
He's playing
yeah.
himself. Don't tell him that.
He was great.
Yeah. well,
He never
broke.
broke. He kept character the
He
whole.
almost did in one shot there.
Which one?
When he's running back to the bathroom.
I'll go to the bathroom. I'll go to the bathroom.
He just had this sort of sadness, a sad sack.
Yeah.
First time acting?
Who's?
Nina.
Wife's first
Yeah.
Does it bother you that she stole the show?
No. God, I love that you stole the show.
No, she was really.
Because she kind of did in the script too, right? I mean, that was the
Well,
thing.
yeah, I mean, I remember reading it going, is your wife really possibly this cool?
You were great.
Oh.
I mean, you were an actor for sure. When you said goodbye, the conversation to the model's husband or boyfriend or fiance, that little dialogue there was a
It's
gem.
good meeting you, Justin.
Yeah.
It was good meeting you, Justin. But we had somebody lined up for that part, and he dropped out the day before. I put up a notice on New England Film that said, "Okay, my actor dropped out. We need somebody to play a bro. So if you can invade my personal space, act like a total jackass, and be an all-around obnoxious prick, call me right away."
And that's the guy who showed up.
And they didn't expect money at all.
When you make a post, you can say unpaid or paid. So these are people who are trying to get into SAG that need
Footage.
demo reel. He showed up like an hour early with the script in hand. He was just wandering around my yard reading to himself. He really wanted to nail it, and I think he
did.
I think he was infatuated by the amount of pudding I was shoveling.
How much direction did you have to do for each of them?
Like, for instance, the guy who plays Matt, the curly hair, glasses, we had one really long phone conversation about his character, and he just did it. Like, I really didn't have to do much adjustment with him. Whereas Nina and Keith, neither of them wanted to do the movie at all. Keith told me, he said, if this got me real acting gigs, I wouldn't take them because I don't want to act. Keith never quite got there in rehearsal, but then the first day was the office stuff, and the minute he was like in that suit and tie, sitting in place with those real strong actors, he just they gave him so much that and he was consistent. Then I thought, okay, well, he can do this kind of real naturalistic stuff, but what about like the crying? And then he nailed that too.
So who is the sex offender in The Office?
New England film actor.
The only scene that was hard for me, that was not believable, was the mother and the daughter. It went in and out. It wasn't consistent.
The only real option is to just take stuff out, which we do a lot. Like anytime anybody has a weak moment, we just remove it. So if I could just find those weak moments.
For what it's worth, that particular scene I actually wasn't particularly bothered by. But you'll remember that one of the parts of the script that I had the most issue with was the "Are we gonna fuck tonight or what?" Because I kept thinking that it made you look like a complete asshole.
Yeah.
But in the movie, I think it's.
I took the note really to heart and we tried to. That's why we did that rehearsal thing.
Yeah.
And we worked it to make that not the case.
Nina was fantastic. Like, you're putting pressure on me, and now, you know, it's not going to be spontaneous. I mean, I thought that was very realistic.
Oh, have you been there, Lauren?
I will say that the one scene that kind of struck me a little bit was just the two of them in the sleeping bags.
It's a little long.
Yeah, a little bit long.
I think it's long. It's
It, like, confused me at the end a little bit.
The music did?
Yeah, because I thought the movie is so smart all the way through, and then the end, I was like, oh, am I supposed to feel like all happy and warm and fuzzy, you know?
Yeah, Cat Stevens does that.
And then when they're crying, we're playing men.
Yeah, a little something there.
Yeah, that seemed totally. I was like, should I be laughing at this? Should I be like, oh?
But that's also a good question because I think we were kind of going for that. I mean, when we were shooting the two of them in the car crying together, like the whole point of the scene is that you're laughing because this guy is shirtless and this guy looks like Dracula, but they are actually having a really emotional moment that you're not supposed to be laughing at.
Well, it sounds like what you're saying is that you don't want to be told what to feel, and yet you don't know what to feel. I like the idea of being stuck between the emotions. Paula, since you're leaving, give me a quick impressions. What do you think?
I need to digest a little bit more. I don't like to just come off and like say what I did
Okay.
right away. I like to think, and then I'll.
Fine. Monty, thank you for coming. I don't know you from a hole in the wall.
I like it. It wasn't as like revealing about you as I guess you thought. Maybe like it would change my perspective.
I guess if I don't know you and we work together.
But like.
I had a difficult, like there were all these three different stories going on, and I felt like I had a bit of a difficulty in the beginning, sort of seeing the flow from the characters. You know, I mean, I got the transition from the young Frankie to, I love the scene coming down the escalator. It's probably one of my favorite.
I think maybe shortening the sleepover will help.
I'm so happy that the way I felt when I read the script was the same way I felt.
Really? It was the same idea? That's really great.
Whatever. And to your crew, you guys did.
Fantastic job.
What can I say?
So the scene when they're coming, like in the bedroom, when the guy's on the computer and the other's in his room, did you have a dolly there? What was?
Yeah, it's the same thing we used in most of the scenes, which was a little slider.
Yeah, we never actually had a dolly. It was just a little. Dan has his little slider.
Have the grad students seen this?
My MFA workshop has. Your colleagues have no idea that this exists. Tom does, and maybe a couple.
And
of them
C
do.
does.
It'd be really interesting to hear their feedback.
Yeah. What do you think, Dan?
This is definitely better than the Ava.
Poor Ava.
Did you have a thought to bring in more of the gay marriage part of it? Because it was kind of always there, like kind of poked at a little bit, but it didn't seem like you.
I think the movie sort of takes place in a world where homophobia doesn't really exist, and if it does, fuck it. And so you don't have to be careful about your discourse because we're past it. Like the movie's past it, the characters are past it.
Too much time in New England.
But I think that's a more progressive way of presenting the content than wagging fingers.
Oh yeah.
I think the movie basically says, like, I'm not for gay marriage because I'm not for marriage.
Can you just speak one more minute about the blonde, like?
Oh, Maya?
Yeah. What do people think about her?
I thought she was exactly what she needed.
Yeah.
But I thought in the script that she would be more like Nina.
I think it would have been really easy to make her the bitch. Just really one-dimensionally opposite Nina. She's just confused about what she wants her identity to be. I think her identity used to make a lot more sense to her when she was in college, when she was acting, when she was a little bit hotter. And now that she's getting a little bit older, and she would like to be able to attract guys like this, but can't even. I think that insecurity is a big part of her personality.
I probably would have liked to have seen that insecurity played up just a little bit more. She seemed the most fake of anybody. It just doesn't seem as realistic as the rest of what's going on with everybody else.
Yeah, but I think that was part of the role.
Anything else? Everybody wants to go home. Cool. Thank you.